Yes, favorite worst nightmare by the Arctic Monkeys does in fact hold up. But see, dear viewer, you're not only getting what you clicked on here, you're going to get extra more. I answered the question in the first 2 seconds, but now you're going to see why. You're going to see what's up with Arctic Monkeys. You're going to see what songs should I listen to. You're going to see, as a Gen Zer, how did I first come into hearing about this band? And why is this album the most important one in their entire discography? You might be wondering that. So I'm going to tell you right here today. Cheers, drink up, lads and lasses, fit birds, no minges. I don't even know what that means. I watched a couple episodes of The In-Betweeners. I watched the whole first season. I think there's only like 1 or 2. In-Betweeners is a British TV show from like 2006-ish, maybe 2008, where it's like high school kids in Britain, and I really got to understand myself as a high school kid in Britain through watching The In-Betweeners. Anyways, whether you're a longtime rocker who wants to know what Gen Z thinks about rock, or you are a Gen Z TikTok kitten who wants some good rock music and you want to know, what should I listen to? What's a little intro? How do I get to learn about the lore of this band? How do I get into it? You're going to hear it from me, okay? Your resident mentally impaired person, the 190 IQ Jew, who's going to get you up to date if you're a boomer, if you're a Gen Z, or anything in between, anything up, above, around, the down, Gen Alpha. You're a little alpha kitten. That's what they call me. Alpha kitten. Woo, rar, rar. I kind of, if you can't tell, we're going to do this right now. We're going to do this right now. Wait, just wait. I feel like I'm built like Beast from the X-Men. So if you call me the Alpha Kitten, I would not doubt you if you called me Alpha Kitten. Oh, guys, I'm losing weight right now. So, I got a belly. Actually, you know what? I don't have that much of a belly right now. I take it back. I'm already losing weight. I'm eating less calories than I was a month ago. So I'm losing weight, shocker. And I still work out. Boom! Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that because y'all are big. I'm kidding. That was mean. And if you are big, so what? If you like it, you like it. If you don't, if you wish to show something about yourself, you change. Maybe want to increase your life expectancy, be able to move around, feel a little bit better. Or if you're like, I like the look of having some more muscle, maybe having a little bit less fat. Like right now, I purposely gained weight so that I would have an easier time gaining muscle. You have an easier time building muscle and kind of doing some bicep curls, and you have an easier time working out to begin with. If you're at a little bit higher of a level of body fat, if you have a little more fat in your body, if your face looks, I don't have that jawline right now. You can't see. This all looks like one slab, and everything kind of blends into each other. Totally fine, totally good. But I have to lose a lot of fat to get definition in my face. So right now, I just purposely put on more body fat so that I have an easier time working out. But now that I'm starting to do these podcasts and everything, and I put on a lot of muscle. I maybe put on a little bit too much fat. I'm kind of ready to come back and see what I look like if I can see, and get those abs again, see how big I actually look so I can compare. Last time I was really shredded, I weighed like 143 pounds. So I'd be really interested to see this June when I'm also at a really low body fat. My face looks really really lean, doesn't have a lot of fat, has a lot of definition on it. I'm really interested to see, do I weigh 150? Do I weigh 155? Because if so, that means I went, this isn't fat. Because, I'm measuring last June, I was at 143 with just muscle. And then this June, I'm at 153 with just muscle and not a lot of fat. So I know how I trained and how I worked out when I was trying to build muscle for that whole year. It was working because I gained 10 pounds of muscle because there isn't any fat, on either day at any point, So I'm just coming off of, that's when you put on weight, when you start eating more and you actually intentionally get, gain fat because either you're at a really low fat level to where it's hard to function, or you're at a normal fat level for whatever is normal for you, your maintenance, right? Where you want to kind of like, you're just kind of like, you look good, you feel good, you're not super shredded, but you're also not super bulky. That's called your maintenance. So I bulked up, I acquired mass, I got size, right? And this shirt's kind of stretched out. But you'll see, I'll have some tight shirts in the next couple of videos, and you'll see like, oh, you look really big in a shirt because you're on the bulk. But then once you get cut, I'd have to like wear an extra small instead of a small, and then I would look big again. But right now, like in a small, I can look really jacked and really big. And it's like, dude, look how big you look. But my face kind of looks a little chubbier. I look younger, which I don't have a problem with. I'm only 21. And my parents, my family, like really good genes. Everyone looks really young for like a while. So I'm really happy because that means I won't look like super old, and I won't get like super old. But anyways, how'd that even start? Oh, Alpha Kitten. So Beast from the X-Men. Yeah, I think I tend to look like Beast from the X-Men. And then, Wolverine from the X-Men as well. But I need to get the hair, like, and I would need a stylist because I'm just not that good at that. Favorite worst nightmare. Now that we're 7 minutes in, we kind of broke the ice. I know you, you know me, we know each other. Guys, this album is what let me know that this wasn't a fluke, that the first album was amazing. But when I heard Favorite Worst Nightmare, I was like, they're not one-trick ponies. They're not one-hit wonders. This is one of the greatest bands of all time, potentially the greatest band of all time. I mean, Brian Storm. First off, not Brainstorm. Brian Storm. Brian, top marks for not trying. So kind of you to bless us with your effortlessness and soul-strained incompetence. And I wonder, or maybe it's so unstrained. We're going to pull up the lyrics right here. We're pulling the lyrics up on Brian Storm. Brian, top marks for not trying. So kind of you to bless us with your effortlessness. We're grateful and so strangely comforted. And I wonder, are you putting us under? Because we can't take our eyes off your t-shirt and ties combination. We'll see you later, innovator. So let's see. Some mistakenly referred to as Brainstorm. When asked to say a little bit about the song's protagonist, Alex Turner replied, I can't remember Brian now. I don't know if he were in my imagination or what. It's a blank spot in my brain. I think that's what Brian wanted. It's pretty funny. It's recommending if I like this song, I'd like Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. Ironically, Olivia Rodrigo, each record, I forget the name of the guy who is the producer and writer with her. That guy is so good. But basically what happens with Olivia Rodrigo, quick aside, the reason I mention it and the reason it pops up here is Olivia Rodrigo is probably the closest thing to Arctic Monkeys that's came out in the last 5 years. And basically what happens is every Olivia Rodrigo album, 3 banger rock songs, the best rock songs in the last 20 years, and then just 18 just piano, reverb, soft girl ballads that are just insufferable, that are made for girls to be like, this is literally me on TikTok. But then the best rock song of the millennia happens right before that. So that's perfect. Talk about that's the perfect album written for the online streaming generation. Because the only people who are going to buy your vinyl are super fans, and they don't care what vibe half the album is. And so if half the album is just for TikTok girls who are super this is hitting me in the vibes, and the rest of it is oh my god, this is for Riot Girl, I'm a rocker girl, or I'm a rocker guy, I like rock music. If you're a guy or girl who likes rock, that hits you when you're streaming it, and you're just going to listen to those ones or just add them to your playlist. And if you're a girl who's a soft girl or a soft boy, emo guy, you're going to throw those onto your playlist. And so you don't care about the other songs that, don't fit the genre of what you like. And then if you just love Olivia Rodrigo. You're a stan because you saw her on Disney's High School Musical remake, I believe. Then you're going to love everything she does. So you don't care what vibe it is. You're buying that record. So that's the brilliance of Olivia Rodrigo. But as this relates to Arctic Monkeys, this second album, this is where they show not only are they not a one-trick pony because they're able to do different vibes, kind of song to song. This House is a Circus is like one of the greatest songs of all time. Like that's a song that'll get me to like fight in a bar and win. And I'm 5'6" and weigh like 150 pounds, 160. So I weigh like 160. And I'm like 5. Well, I think I'm like 5'7". I can round down to 5'6". Rounding up, we're like 5'6¾", so 5'7". And you're always wearing shoes and stuff, so you look more like 5'7", 5'8". Anyways, boop. JK, I'm actually 6'2". Okay, here on TikTok on the internet, I'm 6'12". Come fight me. You won't fight me? Put your dukes up, John. I believe that's a single for this. That's actually a like B-side or an EP. I'm having trouble breathing. Oh, by the way, I'm listening to the record right now. That's why I have my AirPods in, so you can see that I'm really getting into the headspace of Favorite Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys. So basically, here's the thing. This was the record where I listened to it and I realized, like, oh, they're not a one-trick pony. And if this record didn't exist, I probably wouldn't listen to their other records at all. Like, I wouldn't have, like, listened to Humbug enough for me to love Humbug. And I definitely wouldn't have listened to, like, Suck It and See enough to like it. I definitely wouldn't have listened to Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. And I would have not listened all the way through AM. I probably would have just heard a couple singles and then never listened to it again. But I would have loved the first album. The thing is, it's so good. It's so hooky. It shows that this band can make any type of strategy work. They can make any source material kind of work. They're just so good that they make bangers when they want to. And that's where I know if they're not making a banger, it's because they're choosing not to, either because they don't want to get pigeonholed or because they want to do something different for themselves. And they're too bored of playing songs that all sound and feel the same tempo, the same vibe. I get that. I totally empathize with that, but like, get heavier. Like, bro, I would love to see what would happen if you took Alex Turner and you put him in the room, the current Alex Turner who made the last album, that Mirror Ball song. I would love to see if you put Alex Turner, you locked him in a Romanian prison with nothing. You put him at the bottom of a well. Alex Turner's like, oh, feed me, feed me. They're like, put the dang shit into the bucket. See, you Gen Z aren't going to get that. It's a reference to Silence of the Lambs. And you know what? I've never seen Silence of the Lambs. I've just seen the Family Guy episode where they recreate Silence of the Lambs. Anyways, Alex Turner, he's here. He's placed into this dungeon. And he's like, I know. And they're like, here's what you get to eat. They drop him down Adderall. They drop down an energy drink. And they drop him down a 7-string guitar. But here's the thing. They give him an amp that is permanently fixed on a high distortion. So that's the thing is, like, even if he turns down the volume knob on the guitar and he turns it down, this amp only has high gain. And they say you can't come out until you've written a whole record of high gain on the 7-string. Do you know how incredible that album would turn out? Like, if I had some sort of cruel science experiment in Minecraft where I took Alex Turner and I said, you don't get to eat food or see your, family until you come up with like 3 banger rock songs using a 7-string on the distorted channel the whole time. And the tempo has to be at least 120 like BPM. That would probably be the greatest record of all time. That would be so incredible. Like in the same way, like if you took like Corey Taylor and you said, "Hey, you guys like Slipknot, like you have to do like a normal rock record," right? Like if you put people, you juxtapose them. But basically, the whole point with Favorite Worst Nightmare is the songs are so catchy, they're so good. I feel them like this is one of the greatest records of all time. 505, an incredible banger that transcends Arctic Monkeys. Do Me a Favor is really great. Only One Who Knows is like a little too slow for me to say you should have put it on the album. I would have swapped it out with something else that they had as a B-side, or I just would have not put it on the record. This House of the Circus, If You Were There, Beware is so good. Talk about feeling like you're in a friggin' Tim Burton movie. The Bad Thing, incredible. Old Yellow Bricks. I mean, it's so sing-along. It's so good. Each song is a story. And the British people, they know how to rhyme. Boy, do they know how to rhyme. Love the British people. Boy, do they know how to rhyme. They know how to rhyme. They're silly little Brits. They know how to take a song. They know how to rhyme. A lot of people, they say, the British people, they know how to rhyme. I don't know what they're talking about. They rhyme a lot. They do a lot of rhyming. I kind of get annoyed with Trump impressions, but if you got a good one, you might as well use it. I'm not on my A game with Trump impressions today. Once again, it's my third video or third podcast, or like that's consistently going up, you know. And so no one's going to watch this, no one's going to listen to this. I'm aware of that. And if you are, thank you. There's a box of headphones right there. Woo! All this is to say, I'm in a lot of energy drinks. When did I first hear this? When did I first listen to this? I listened to this album. I started listening to it probably like really listening to it around COVID, a little bit before, when I just started my band Black Licorice in like 2019, 2020. We played a gig in late 2019 at this place in San Diego. My bandmate at the time, it was a two-piece. It was just me playing guitar and singing, and I had a pedal that would drop my guitar down an octave, and I had it hooked up to a bass amp like Royal Blood, but backwards. So instead of playing a bass and putting it up to be a guitar, I had a guitar and I was putting it down and sending it to a bass amp. So I would have bass that I could turn on and off using a tuner pedal. And then I got a drummer, Ryan, and he did really good. And basically, we were playing that show. Basically, we were going to do it in his backyard, but his mom felt bad and canceled at the last second. So she said, I'll rent out a venue. So we played in the back of this gym. It was like a CrossFit gym, and they had like an outdoor area in Pacific Beach. It was across from like the Trader Joe's in Pacific Beach. And we went over there, and I was wearing a red turtleneck and white pants. As of the time of recording this, I believe this photo is still up on the Facebook for Black Licorice. And there's a band called San Marine. I forget what the lead singer chick name was. I hope she didn't just like die, because she was like 15, and I think she started doing like a lot of drugs. Like a lot of drugs and partying. And the band was called San Marine. Kind of like a soft boy type dude on the guitar. Like short hair, kind of like, I knew the bassist was like, I knew she was lesbian. I think so was the singer. But the singer was like a cute, like more like normal looking, like just more traditional, stereotypical looking like white girl. The singer and the bassist was like, I'm pretty certain, who was lesbian. She was like some sort of like, looked probably like Pacific Asian, like Pacific Islander, like type Asian type thing, like either Filipino or something like around that kind of region. But she was like very short too and had like black hair. But for some reason they asked us, they're like, can you play like Do Me a Favor by Arctic Monkeys, and I did not listen to it because I skipped any song on this album the first time listening to it that was like slow. And so when they asked, I had to like sit there for like 2 seconds to try and listen to it, and I just had to learn boom, 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 and then I just played that the whole song, and it went really rough because they weren't that tight and they weren't that good. And I was like so focused on singing and promoting the show and like making sure the songs were good and figuring out when we were going to record stuff and do our first record. And like that was our first real like technically show. And then we played at the Che Cafe at UCSD, ironically, which I am banned from. You know, I'm banned at the Che Cafe. I'm banned. I'm banned in DC. That's a good reference. There's a song by Bad Brains that's really good called Banned in DC. That is an example of a song where basically the first half of the song is one way and the second half is another way. Go listen to Banned in DC by Bad Brains. That is a rec for you young rock kittens out there. Anyways, me, I'm banned at DC. I'm banned at the Che Cafe in La Jolla, California, in San Diego, at UCSD. See, they're very interesting. I'm a very open and respectful person. As much as I ever feel like being. But they're a commune, if you're not familiar. The Che Cafe is a commune, so they're communists. But I don't mean like they like Marxism. Like no, I mean like they have an organization that's ran as a commune. And so everyone goes to these meetings every Monday, and they end up being like 18 hours, and they're all like unemployed people, like the biggest beer bellies, the biggest beard. They're all in like their 50s. And what ends up happening is they say everyone gets a vote when you're there, and so everyone's got to agree. Everything needs to be unanimous. And so a random like homeless person will walk in and say, "No, I don't want there to be a show this day," and then there isn't a show that day. And so I volunteered there probably like 4 months. I went like every day after like high school. My senior year, I went to the Che Cafe and I cleaned up garbage at like every show, and I helped in the kitchen. I washed dishes and stuff. And then eventually we booked a show, and we played a show at the Che Cafe, and it was great. And that was right before COVID. But yeah, apparently they banned me. Anyways, it was pretty crazy. Oh no, the funny thing is, you go and they're like, okay, there's no hierarchy. Everyone's on the same level. There is no like this person above this person. Everyone has the same level of responsibility. That's why it's unanimous. Even the person who just walked off the street. There's no seniority. That's classist. There's no classes, right? Then you go, okay, let's do a show this day. They're like, actually, only the key holders have to be there. You have to have a key holder there. You're like, what do you mean? Like, well, there's a group, so everyone's here. You can just walk in off the street. You're here. But there's the people who actually have the keys to the building. This elite group, it's above everyone else, and they have the keys to the building. And the group above everyone, they're up here. You're down here. The group above everyone, you need one of them to say, I'm actually going to open the doors and sponsor the event and take responsibility. Wait a minute. I thought this was a commune, and there was no one above anyone, and we all equally had responsibility. Well, yeah, but these people are above everyone else, and they have the keys to the building, and they actually take personal responsibility for what happens at the event, and they have to co-sign it. And so you just kind of go there like, really, this commune thing turned into a two-tiered society where there's a governing apparatus at the top that pretends to care about what the people at the bottom have to say, gets them to fight with each other until they have unanimous agreement, and then they still veto everything, and it's just whatever they decided to begin with. And actually, they could, force anything they wanted. And so this whole thing was kind of like a puppet parliament. It was just kind of there to get you to like waste your time and come in on a Monday for 8 hours to argue with some guy who's unemployed wearing a shirt with the Monopoly Man with a big X through it. So favorite worst nightmare by the Arctic Monkeys. But that's I didn't listen to Do Me a Favor. So here's my recommendation. If you are a new rocker or anyone and you really want to like see like what's up with this album, why is it supposed to be good? Listen to Brainstorm through Fluorescent Adolescence. So listen to Brian Storm, Teddy Picker, D is for Dangerous, Balaclava, Fluorescent Adolescent, right? And then just go straight to This House is a Circus. Rip out the middle. Rip out Only One Who Knows. Boo. Rip out Do Me a Favor. Boo. I'm not a soft girl on TikTok. Sorry. Go to This House is a Circus. If you were there, beware. Like, that's as slow as you need to get, because that's good. That's called having like a build. That's like doing something cool and interesting and gripping at more of a slow, more of an open thing, so you can hit you with it and like really go up in intensity. And you can have some like cool like boom bam boom boom bam boom boom bam boom boom. And then the bad thing is just really good, really catchy. Yellow Bricks is really good. If you're in a rock mood, you can skip 505. If you just want to be like, I want to sing a song really loud. I really feel it when I sing it all. I need it now. I need to sing this song really loud. I need it loud. Demonetized. Now, that's when you do 505. But real talk, skip Only One Who Knows, skip Do Me a Favor, skip 505. And then if you're like, I really like that, go listen back to them. Go listen to the EP around it. Temptation greets you like your naughty friend. That's a really hooky, really good song. But you can also see where you're like, that's more the first album. Go watch 2007, 2006, like Glastonbury or whatever. Watch that live video of them playing just the first album, the second album, and songs in between. So good. This is the peak band. This is where they are one of the greatest bands in rock history. One of the greatest bands of the last 20 years. But yeah, don't get excited because Humbug is next, but Humbug is not as good. This is the best Arctic Monkeys ever does. And now if you're a real TikTok kitten and a real Gen Z, Gen Alpha, you're going to love AM. AM's the best record they ever did. After this point, the best Arctic Monkeys stuff starts being The Last Shadow Puppets and Miles Kane's music. And this is when they go to the desert to work with Queens of the Stone Age. But this is when they start going to LA and like liking things, and they're successful and rich and famous. And like Alex Turner's in love. And they start being like soft. And it's just like you can be in love and still like not need to write like slow love songs. Like, and Frank Sinatra wrote slow love songs. Like if Alex Turner on Humbug and the next record started writing like Frank Sinatra type compositions, but used guitars instead of an orchestra, and like it was like slow and big and grand, and I love you and I love you, and it had really interesting chord progressions and had key changes and all of this kind of stuff. If that starts happening, go for it. Fine. No, they turn slow and they turn into 2013 Tumblr. They turn into that. That's what starts happening. Humbug, though, they're not fully there. They're not fully there yet. But, Suck It and See and AM really get there. Then 2018, friggin' Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino is amazing because that's just him on a whole other vibe. He watched Blade Runner. He's watching movies. He's watching Kubrick. He's watching Scorsese. And he's having a good time. That is fun. That's a guy having fun. Humbug, also a guy having fun, being like, wait a minute, stoner rock, I can play at a slower tempo and get into these different grooves, but also mix vibes and use all these keyboards and organs and things, and that's cool. But that's what we're about to get into. So I'm going to keep fixing my hair and go right now. Click on Humbug. You have 5 seconds to click the Humbug video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you do it? Did you click it? You did? Okay, well, rock on. I'll see you there.